Well, I mean, it's two different eras, man. Kenyon played in an era where you're talking about arguably all the top power fours in NBA history was in the era.
There were a lot of good ones.
Like I'm just gonna don't era you. Okay, let's try this again. All the top power fours in NBA history was in that era. so he had to guard the number one for his whole career, the number, well, now 3, 4, 5, right? I mean, his matchups.
Gilbert Arenas reacts to the Kenyon Martin and Draymond Green beef. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
So Kenyon did another podcast. They asked him who were those guys, quote unquote, enforcer types, whatever. He talked about some players back in his day, the Davis boys over in Indiana, Antonio and Dale.
Okay.
But and some other guys. And then they asked about Draymond, and he basically said that Draymond is very calculated in who he goes after. He goes after a lot of players that won't go back at him. Okay. The internet tried to interpret that as Kenyon calling Draymond a fake tough guy. He never said.
He pretty much was saying that, but he didn't say it directly. We already know Draymond Green, real calculated. The whole world knows it. He knows it. Jordan Poole knows it. Sabonis knows it. Nurkic, Gobert, everybody that either sucker punched or tried to choke or step on their chest, they all know Draymond Green's a fake tough guy. If it was a face-to-face situation, that's one thing, but Dre's going to pick on people he knows don't want to smoke, especially after the game. No one's saying crash out, do something crazy, but if he going to fight and really stand on business, do it with the real tough guys in the NBA. Draymond Green is a fraud, and that shows a lot since he's with Clutch Sports.
But that's what the clickbait was for the clips. So we addressed it on Gills Arena presented by Underdog Woo Woo this past week. Just to say, because he had this situation with Wemby, trying to punk Wemby. Wemby held his ground. Draymond obviously very complimentary of Wemby after that.
Okay.
And Kenyon just spoke his mind. At no point was it anything about his game or him as a basketball player. I think we've all on the couch said Draymond first ballot Hall of Famer. Okay. We did have that discussion with Shad earlier in the week, where Shad said Draymond as a Hall of Famer should have some expectations, but his expectations to play defense. If he gets a triple single, we're not tripping. That's not his role and job with the team.
True.
Go out there and get buckets. So Draymond, 11, 12 minutes straight on the Draymond Green show today, the clip that dropped today. Just going at Kenyon, obviously went at McCants, went at Kenyon for not having championships.
Yeah, Draymond was in his feelings. I guess he felt as though Kenyon can't say anything about him since they're from the same hometown, even though Kenyon said he may have been born there, but he represents something else. But either way, man, Draymond Green, man up, stop being emotional. You're a fake tough guy. You got called out. People going to check you, especially the real OGs that's really about that played in the NBA during that time where you had to be tough. Even the people that weren't about that, you had to have tough skin to play in that era, during Kenyon's era and before that. So again, Draymond, stop being emotional. You know what it is. You ain't got to go in detail about your career is this, you won championships, to be like your career wasn't anything because you don't have the same accolades as me. You're very fortunate to be drafted by the Warriors. If Draymond wasn't on the Warriors, he wouldn't be remembered right now. He'd have been one of those players, played a few years, made some money, and that was it. So at the end of the day, man, without the Warriors, Draymond Green isn't the player that he is today.
And the internet has responded. Some people are extremely supportive of Kenyon. Some people say that Draymond cut Kenyon. A lot of people said if you replace Draymond with Kenyon on those Warrior squads, how deadly and dangerous would those squads be? Okay. You know me, Gil. I merely host. I mind my business. I stay out the way. Coaching the youth.
So stop it, Kenyon. All right, so let me see. So what did Draymond use? So Draymond basically went
to one time All-Star. You have no rings. All that kind of good. Then told McCants and Kenyon they don't know what it's like to be a champion. They had to, very condescendingly explain to them.
Well, I mean, it's two different eras, man. Kenyon played in an era where you're talking about arguably all the top power fours in NBA history was in the era.
There were a lot of good ones.
Like I'm just gonna don't era you. Okay, let's try this again. All the top power fours in NBA history was in that era. so he had to guard the number one for his whole career, the number, now 3, 4, 5, right? I mean, his matchups. Then you had damn. I mean,
Yeah, Kenyon's era guarding the power forward position was tough, and he held his own. That's what he said on his live. Like, you know what? Yeah, I don't have, the championship rings and all the all-stars and all defensive teams, but he held his own. You remember Kenyon Martin to this day, minus the media that he does. When you talk about power forwards in the early 2000s to the mid 2000s, you're going to remember Kenyon Martin. He made a lot of money, created generational wealth. He did his job. If he got anything else after that, that's icing on the cake. So at the end of the day, Draymond's going to revert back to his championships and the accolades, which is cool. Do what you want to do. But we're talking about you, picking and choosing your fights, being a fake tough guy. He didn't want to address that. He had to show off his rings. And that proves that Draymond Green is a fraud.
I'm sure if we – then you got Weber, you got all them. I'm pretty sure if Kenyon was making all-stars with the same amount of numbers because of the teams that was – man, they didn't even – I just thought about it. They didn't even give Kenyon all-stars for those years.
Yeah, so Kenyon got the all-star in the East, decided to go to the West, so the Nuggets basically went into the fire.
That's kind of like what him up.
And more context, obviously the chat calling me out, but Draymond from Saginaw, Kenyon from Saginaw, said that Draymond said he looked up to Kenyon growing up. So I think Draymond just heard that Kenyon speaking on him.
Hey, wait. If you was 9th in defensive player of the year, you don't make the second team all defensive team?
It depends on how the voting shakes out. This was positional back then, though, right? So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had.
Yeah, a lot of politics. Kenyon brought that up. Now it's a popularity contest when you're making all these all-NBA teams and these accolades, minus the championship rings. You really had to play the political route, especially in this era, and that's what Draymond Green did the best. Think about it. If he's on the best team over the last 8-9 years, as long as he's like that third person on the team, most likely he's going to make all the all-star games because the Warriors always were like top 1 or top 2 in the NBA, especially in the Western Conference. So as long as you had Steph and Klay do their thing, you know what? Let's go ahead and reward Draymond Green with an all-star game. So again, he was blessed to be on the Warriors. Congrats to him. Congrats to the individual accolades. But Draymond Green isn't better than Kenyon Martin.
At position basketball, I forgot they did change it to positionless for voting.
So now I think it's the 10 best defenders in the NBA.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. See, the All-Stars was a little weird too. It was the Dwight Howard who got screwed when they took the centers away and made it front court players, where a front court player, if he had more votes than a center, he got that spot. And that happened 2013, 2014. When he took away the center. So after 2014, so let's see when Draymond made his first All-Star game. I thought so.
After.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, Trey.
Because what happens is, remember, there's only two powerful because once you took away the center, it kind of removed people out the way. 2015 All-Star West. Let me just make sure.
Yeah, they started to remove positions. Now it's just about, okay, you're on a great team. Y'all got the best record. Now we can just overly vote on people that normally wouldn't make it. And Draymond Green, he benefited off that. So again, whatever the numbers are, whatever the case may be, he got voted in. He got the accolades, and again, that's cool. But if we're talking about you being a fake tough guy, why flaunt all the rings? Why flaunt all those accolades? He know he can't stand in the paint with Kenyon Martin as far as a real basketball conversation. Again, in the team setting, he did his thing. He set some great screens. He punched and choked people, and he did great things for the Warriors. I can't take nothing away from Draymond, but as far as, pure NBA basketball player, Kenyon Martin, he's better than Draymond. Gil, you know it, but you're going to play the political game because you don't want to, ruffle any feathers with Draymond. He's within the media, and you want to keep that network available, so you're not really going to give your full opinion. Yeah, you may say the power forwards were better back in Kenyon's era, but you're not going to discredit or really call out Draymond Green for being sensitive. Draymond Green is a fraud, and everybody knows it.